All right. Live Bible reading, part 3 of Matthew. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, this is the Snowball Bible reading plan. We started reading the smallest books and we're working our way all the way up toward Psalm, which is the largest book in the canonical 66 books. A couple days ago is when we left off on, what was it? Tuesday? Tuesday we read up to chapter 15. Shalom, Jacqueline. First one in the chat. Right on. Thanks for being here. We're picking up in chapter 16 today in the book of Matthew. And I wanted to talk with you guys about a couple of things before we get started. One, we've got this new shirt called Presence Patrol. Lucia designed it and I love it. Something that she posted in the community tab on our YouTube channel. So that's something to check out. We wanted to get your guys' opinion on it to see if it was something you'd be interested in. We kind of take a lot of our ideas to a vote. We do a little poll and see who actually likes the idea before we go through all the trouble of exposing screens and printing it. But anyways, we just wanted to invite you guys to be part of our selection process on that t-shirt. And also, as you probably are aware, there's the 1,000 subscriber giveaway that we are going to be announcing on Friday. If you're not aware, you can go to our channel. You'll see it. It's 1K giveaway part 2. So that's just some housekeeping stuff. But I appreciate you guys being here. I just wanted to buy some time, let some people jump in here so that they could start the reading with us. So, but anyways, how is everybody doing? I see that we've got a few people in here now. Thanks for being here. I always appreciate having somebody to listen while I do these live streams. So, I like reading to you guys. But anyways, so after we finish up the book of Matthew, which would be on Sunday, we'll finish the book of Matthew. We'll go right into the book of Acts. And then we've got Luke, Deuteronomy, and then Exodus. I'm not sure what we have after that. Luke, Deuteronomy, Exodus, and Numbers, Genesis, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, and then Psalms. So yeah. All right. We'll go ahead and jump into this. Chapter 16. I'm reading out of the Scriptures. That's the TS 2009 version of the Scriptures. And here we go. Chapter 16. And the Pharisees and Sadducees came and, trying him, asked that he would show them a sign from heaven. And he answering said to them, when it is evening you say fair weather, for the heaven is red. And in the morning stormy weather, today for the heaven is red and overcast. You know how to discern the face of the heaven, but are you unable to discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no sign shall be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. And he left them and went away, and his taught ones came to the other side, and had forgotten to take bread. And Yeshua said to them, Mind, and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, because we brought no bread. But Yeshua, aware of this, said to them, O you of little belief, do you reason among yourselves, because you brought no bread? Do you still not understand? Neither remember the 5 loaves or the 5,000 and how many baskets you picked up, or the 7 loaves of the 4,000 and how many large baskets you picked up? How is it that you do not understand that I did not speak to you concerning bread, but to beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees? Then they understood that he did not say to beware of the leaven of bread, but of the teaching of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Now, when Yeshua came into the parts of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his taught ones, saying, Who do men say the Son of Adam is? And they said, Come, say Yohanan the Immerser, and others. And they said, Some say Yohanan the Immerser, and others Elihu, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He said to them, And you, who do you say I am? And Shimon Kepha answering said, You are the Messiah, the Son of the living Elohim. And Yeshua answering said to him, Blessed are you, Shimon Bar Yonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in the heavens. And I also say to you that you are Kepha, and on this rock I shall build my assembly, and the gates of Sheol shall not overcome it. And I shall give you the keys of the reigns of the heavens, and whatever you bind on earth shall be having been bound in the heavens, and whatever you loosen on earth shall be having loosened in the heavens. Then he warned his taught ones, and that they should say to no one that he is Yeshua the Messiah. For that time Yeshua began to show, from that time Yeshua began to show his taught ones that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem and to suffer much from the elders and chief priests and scribes and be killed, and to be raised again the 3rd day. And Kepha took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, Be kind to yourself, master. This shall not be to you. But he turned and said to Kepha, Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. For your thoughts are not those of Elohim, but those of men. Then Yeshua said to his taught ones, If anyone wishes to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life shall lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he gains the whole world and loses his own life? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his life? For the Son of Adam is going to come in the esteem of his Father and and his messengers, and then he shall reward each according to his works. Truly I say to you, there are some standing here who shall not taste death at all until they see the Son of Ad coming in his reign. Chapter 17. And after 6 days, Yeshua took Kepha and Jacob and Yohanan his brother, and brought them up on a high mountain by themselves. And he was transformed before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his garments became as white as the light. And see, Moshe and Elihu appeared to them, talking with them. And Kepha answering said to Yeshua, Master, it is good for us to be here. If you wish, let us make here 3 booths, one for you, one for Moshe, and one for Elihu. While he was still speaking, see, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and see, a voice came out of the cloud, saying, This is my Son, the beloved in whom I did delight. Hear him. And when the taught ones heard, they fell on their faces and were much afraid. But Yeshua came near and touched him, and said, Rise, and do not be afraid. And having lifted up their eyes, they saw no one but Yeshua only. And as they were coming down from the mountain, Yeshua commanded them, saying, Do not mention this vision to anyone until the Son of Adam is raised from the dead. And his taught ones asked him, saying, Why then do the scribes say that Elihu has to come first? And Yeshua answering said to them, Elihu is indeed coming first, and shall restore all. But I say to you that Elihu has already come, and they did not recognize him, but did to him whatever they wished. In this way the Son of Adam is also about to suffer by them. Then the taught ones understood that he had spoken to them about Yohanan the Immerser. And when they came to the crowd, a man came up to him, kneeling down to him and saying, Master, have compassion on my son, for he is an epileptic and suffers badly. And he often falls into the fire and often into the water. And I brought him to your taught ones, but they were unable to heal him. And Yeshua answering said, O generation, unbelieving and perverted, how long shall I be with you? And how long shall I put up with you? Bring him here to me. And Yeshua rebuked the demon, and he came out of him, and the child was healed from that hour. Then the taught ones came to Yeshua by himself and said, Why were we unable to cast him out? And Yeshua said to them, Because of your unbelief. For truly I say to you, if you have belief as a mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it shall move. And no matter shall be impossible for you. But this kind does not go out except through prayer and fasting. But this kind does not go out except through prayer and fasting. And while they were in Galilee, Yeshua said to them, The Son of Adam is about to be delivered up into the hands of men, and they shall kill him, and the third day he shall be raised up. And they were deeply grieved. Verse 24. And when they came into Capernaum, those who received the double drachma came to Kepha and said, Does your teacher not pay the double drachma? He said, Yes. And when he came to the house, Yeshua spoke to him first, saying, What do you think, Shimon? From whom do the sovereigns of the earth take toll or tax? From their own sons or from the strangers? Kepha then said to him, From the strangers. Yeshua said to him, Then the sons are exempt. But lest we cause them to stumble, go to the sea, cast in a hook, and take the fish that comes up first. And when you have opened its mouth, you shall find a stater. Take that and give it to them for me and you. Chapter 18. At that time the taught ones came to Yeshua, saying, Who then is greatest in the reign of the heavens? And Yeshua called a little child to him and set him in their midst, and said, Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become as little children, you shall by no means enter into the reign of the heavens. Whoever then humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the reign of the heavens. And whoever receives one little child like this in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to stumble, it is better for him that a millstone be hung around his neck, and that he be drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe to the world because of stumbling blocks, for it is necessary that stumbling blocks come, but woe to that man by whom the stumbling block comes. And if your hand or foot causes you to stumble, cast it off and throw it away from you. It is better for you to enter into life lame and crippled, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be thrown into the everlasting fire. And if your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. It is better for you to enter into life with 1 eye rather than having 2 eyes to be thrown into the fire of Gehenna. See that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I say to you that in the heavens their messengers always see the face of my Father who is in the heavens. For the Son of Adam has come to save what was lost. What do you think? If a man has 100 sheep, and one of them goes astray, would he not leave the 99 on the mountains and go seek the one that is straying? And if he should find it, truly I say to you, he rejoices more over that more over that sheep than over the 99 that did not go astray. Thus it is not the desire of your Father who is in the heavens that one of these little ones should be lost. And if your brother sins against you, go and convict him between you and him alone. If he hears you, you have gained your brother. If he does not hear, if he does not hear, take with you one or two more, that by the mouth of two or three witnesses every word might be established. And if he refuses to hear them, say it to the assembly. And if he refuses even to hear the assembly, let him be to you like the nations and the tax collector. Truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be having been bound in heaven, and whatever you loosen on earth shall be having been loosed in the heaven. I'm going to take note of this this order of operations here, because when dealing with a matter, first you take it to your brother who has sinned against you, and you convict him privately. And if he does not hear you, you take one or two more with you. So I think it's wise for us to follow these instructions, obviously. But so often these are not the steps that we take when dealing with a matter. We don't always go directly to the person. So Matthew 18:15 through 17. 18 verse 15 through 17. I think that that's really good. I hope all of you guys highlight that and implement that in your life. That can avoid displeasing our Creator and burning people that, anyways. Verse 18. Truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be having bound in the heaven, and whatever you loosen on earth shall be having loosed in the heaven. Verse 19. Again I say to you, that if two of you agree on earth concerning any matter that they ask, it shall be done for them by my Father in the heavens. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in their midst. Then Kepha came to him and said, Master, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Kepha thought he was being generous with that, 7 times. Yeshua said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but I say up to 77 times, or 70 times 7. Sorry, 70 times 7, which is a lot more than 77. Anyways, because of this, the reign of the heavens is like a certain man, a sovereign who wished to settle accounts with his servants. And when he had begun to settle, one was brought up to him who owed him 10,000 talents. But as he was unable to pay, his master commanded that he was sold, with his wife and children and all that he had, and payment to be made. Then the servant fell down before him, saying, Master, have patience with me, and I shall pay you all. And the master of that servant was moved with compassion, released him, and forgave him his debt. How many of you have been forgiven your debt? And that servant went out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. And he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me what you owe. Then his fellow servant fell at his feet and begged him, saying, Have patience with me, and I shall pay you all. But he would not, and went and threw him into prison till he should pay the debt. And when his fellow servants saw what he had done, they were deeply grieved. Fellow servants saw what he had done. They were deeply grieved, and came and reported to their master and all that had taken place. Then his master called and said to him, "Wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt, seeing you begged me. Should you not also have had compassion on your fellow servant, as I also had compassion on you?" And his master was wroth, and delivered him to the torturers until he should pay all that was due to him. So also my heavenly Father shall do to you if each of you from his heart does not forgive his brother his trespasses. It's a pretty stern warning there, you guys. Let's be full of forgiveness and mercy like our Messiah is for us. Chapter 19. And it came to be when Yeshua had ended these words that he left Galilee and came to the borders of Yehuda beyond the Jordan. And large crowds followed him, and he healed them there. And the Pharisees came to him, trying him, and saying to him, "Is it right for a man to put away his wife for every reason?" And he answering said to them, "Did you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, for this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So that they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what Elohim has joined together, let no man separate." They said to him, "Why then did Moshe command to give a certificate of divorce and to put her away?" He said to them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts Moshe allowed you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so." That is not the will of our Creator for us to give up on our wives. "And I say to you, whoever puts away his wife except on the grounds of whoring and marries another commits adultery. And whoever marries her who has been put away commits adultery." His taught ones said to him, "If such is the case of the man with his wife, it is good not to marry." And he said to them, "Not all receive this word, but only those to whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs who were so born from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs who were made eunuchs by men, and there are eunuchs who have made themselves eunuchs for the sake of the reign of the heavens. He who is able to receive it, let him receive it." Then young children were brought to him and lay hands on Then young children were brought to him to lay hands on them and pray. And the taught ones rebuked them. But Yeshua said, "Allow the young children and do not stop them from coming to me, for of such is the reign of the heavens." And having laid hands on them, he went from there. And see, one came and said to him, "Good teacher, what good shall I do to have everlasting life?" And he said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except one, Elohim. But if you wish to enter into life, guard the commands." Flat out. And he said to them, "Which?" And Yeshua said, "You should not murder, you should not commit adultery, you should not steal, you should not bear false witness. Respect your father and your mother. You shall love your neighbor as yourself." The young man said to him, "All these I have watched over from my youth. What do I still lack?" Yeshua said to him, "If you wish to be perfect, go, sell what you have and give to the poor, and you shall have treasure in heaven, and come, follow me." And when the young man heard the word, he went away sad, because he had many possessions. And Yeshua said to his taught ones, "Truly I say to you that it is hard for a rich man to enter the reign of Elohim, to enter in the reign of the heavens." And again I say to you, for it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the reign of Elohim. And when his taught ones heard it, they were very astonished, saying, Who then is able to be saved? And looking intently, Yeshua said to them, With men it is impossible, but with Elohim all is possible. Then Kepha answering said to him, See, we have left all and followed you. What then shall we have? And Yeshua said to them, Truly I say to you, when the Son of Adam sits on the throne of his esteem, you who have followed me in the rebirth shall also sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And anyone who has left houses or brothers or sisters or fathers or mothers or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. But many who are first shall be last, and the last first. Tell you what, it's not easy to leave everybody you have, everything you have, to follow after him, but that's what he tells you to do. Be making the best choice you ever made. Alright, chapter 20. For the reign of the heavens is like a man, a householder who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the workers for a denarius a day, he sent them into the vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said to them, You too, go into the vineyard, and whatever is right I shall give you. And they went. Having gone out again about the sixth and ninth hour, he did likewise. And about the 11th hour, having gone out, he found others standing idle, and said to them, Why do you stand here idle all day? They said to him, Because no one hired us. He said to them, You too, go into the vineyard, and whatever is right you shall receive. Dang, they really did work for 12 hours a day. You see this? And he went and agreed with the workers, verse 2, for a denarius a day. He sent them into the vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said to them, Go out to the vineyard. And then the 6th and the 9th. And then in the 11th hour, verse 6, having gone out, he found others standing idle, and said to them, Why do you stand here idle all day? They said to him, Because no one hired us. He said to them, You too go into the vineyard, and whatever is right you shall receive. Yeshua did say that, are there not 12 hours in a day? Verse 8, And when evening came, the master of the vineyard said to his manager, Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last to the first. And when those came who were hired about the 11th hour, they each received a denarius. And when the first came, they thought they would receive more. But they too received each a silver piece. And when they received it, they grumbled against the householder, saying, These last have worked only 1 hour, and you made them equal to us, who have borne the burden of the heat of the day. But he answering said to one of them, Friend, I do you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a denarius? Take yours and go. But I wish to give to this last man as also to you. Is it not right for me to do what I wish with my own? Or is your eye evil because I am good? Thus the last shall be first, and the first last. For many are called, but few are chosen. And Yeshua, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 taught ones aside aside on the way and said to them, "See, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Adam shall be delivered up to the chief priests and to the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death and deliver him to the nations to mock and flog and to impale. And the third day he shall be raised." Then the mother of the sons of Zabdi came to him with her sons, bowing down and making a request of him. And he said to her, verse 21, "What do you wish?" She said to him, "Command that these two sons of mine might sit, one on your right hand and the other on the left, in your reign." But Yeshua answering said, "You do not know what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I am about to drink, and to be immersed with the immersion that I am immersed with?" They said to him, "We are able." And he said to them, "You shall indeed drink my cup, and you shall be immersed with the immersion that I am immersed with. But to sit at my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared by my Father." And when the 10 heard, they were displeased at the two brothers, James and John. But Yeshua called them near and said, "You know that the rulers of the nations are masters over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. But whoever wishes to become great among you, let him be your servant. And whoever wishes to be first among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Adam did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." And as they were leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him. And see, 2 blind men sitting by the way, having heard that Yeshua was passing by, cried out, saying, "Have compassion on us, O Master, Son of David." And the crowd rebuked them that they should be silent. But they cried out all the more, saying, "Have compassion on us, O Master, Son of David." And Yeshua stopped and called them and said, "What do you wish me to do for you?" They said to him, "Master, that our eyes be opened." And having been moved with compassion, Yeshua touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. Chapter 21. And when they came near to Jerusalem, they came to Bethphage at the Mount of Olives. Then Yeshua sent 2 taught ones, saying to them, "Go into the village opposite you, and straightway you shall find a donkey tied and a colt with her. Loosen them and bring them to me. And if anyone says whatever to you, you shall say, 'The master needs them,' and immediately he shall send them." And all this took place that it might be fulfilled what was spoken by the prophet, saying, "Say to the daughter of Zion, see, your sovereign is coming to you, meek and sitting on a donkey, even a colt, the foal of a donkey." And the taught ones went, and having done as Yeshua ordered them, they brought the donkey and the colt, and laid their garments on them, and he sat on them. And most of the crowd spread their garment on the way, while others cut down branches from the trees and spread them on the way. And the crowds who went before and those who followed cried out, saying, "Hosanna, to the Son of David. Blessed is he who is coming in the name of Yahweh. Hosanna in the highest." And as he entered into Jerusalem, all the city was stirring, saying, "Who is this?" And the crowd said, "This is Yeshua, the prophet from Nazareth of Galilee." And Yeshua went into the set-apart place of Elohim, and drove out all those buying and selling in the set-apart place, and overturned the tables of the money changers, and the seats of those who sold doves. And he said to them, "It has been written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of robbers." And blind and lame ones came to him in the set apart place, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and the scribes saw the wonders which he did, and the children crying out in the set apart place, saying, "Hosanna to the Son of David," they were greatly displeased, and said to him, "Do you hear what these say?" And Yeshua said to them, "Yes. Have you never read, out of the mouth of babes and nurslings you have perfected praise?" And having left them, he went out of the city to Bethania, and spent the night there. And returning to the city early in the morning, he became hungry. And seeing a single fig tree by the way, he came to it, and found naught in it but leaves, and said to it, "Let no fruit grow on you ever again." And immediately the fig tree withered. And the taught ones, seeing it, marveled, saying, "How did the fig tree wither so soon?" And Yeshua answering said to them, "Truly I say to you, if you have belief and do not doubt, you shall not only do what was done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, be removed and be thrown into the sea, it shall be done. Now whatever you ask in prayer, believing, you shall receive." And when he had come into the set apart place, the chief priests and the elders of the people came to him as he was teaching, and said, "By what authority are you doing these? And who gave you this authority?" And Yeshua answering said to them, "I shall ask you one question too, which if you answer me, I also shall say to you by what authority I do these. The immersion of Yohanan, where did it come from? Yeah. From heaven or from men?" So they reasoned among themselves, saying, "If we say from heaven, he shall say to us, then why did you not believe him? But if we say from men, we fear the crowd, for all hold Yohanan as a prophet." And they answered Yeshua and said, "We do not know." And he said to them, "Neither do I say to you by what authority I do these. But what do you think? A man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, 'Son, go, work today in my vineyard.' And he answering said, 'I do not wish to.' But afterwards he repented and went. And having come to the second, he said similarly. And he answering said, 'I go, master.' But he did not go. Which of the 2 did the desire of the Father? They said to him, 'The first.' Yeshua said to them, 'Truly I say to you, the tax collectors and whores are entering into the reign of Elohim before you. For Yohanan came to you in the way of righteousness, but you did not believe him. But tax collectors and whores believed him. And when you saw it, you did not repent afterwards to believe him. Hear another parable. There was a certain man, a householder, who planted a vineyard and placed a hedge around it, and dug a winepress in it, and built a watchtower. And he leased it to farmers and went abroad. And when the season of the fruits drew near, he sent his servants to the farmers to receive its fruit. And the farmers took his servants and beat one and killed one, and they stoned another. Again he sent another servant, more than the first. He sent other servants more than the first, and they did likewise to them. And at last he sent his son to them, saying, 'They shall respect my son.' But when the farmers saw the son, they said among themselves, 'This is the heir. Come, let us kill him. Let us possess his inheritance.' They took him and threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, when the master of the vineyard comes, what shall he do to those farmers?" They said to him, "Evil ones. He shall bring them to evil destruction, and lease the vineyard to other farmers, who shall give him the fruits in their season." Yeshua said to them, "Did you never read in the scriptures, the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone? This was from Yahweh, and it is marvelous in our eyes." Because of this I say to you, the reign of Elohim shall be taken from you and given to a nation bringing forth the fruits of it. And he who falls on this stone shall be broken, but on whomever it falls, he shall be pulverized. And the chief priests and Pharisees, having heard his parables, knew that he was speaking of them, and seeking to lay hands on him, they feared the crowds, seeing they held him to be a prophet. And Yeshua, chapter 22, and Yeshua responded and spoke to them again by parables, and said, the reign of the heavens is like a man, a sovereign, whom made a wedding feast for his son, and sent out his servants and called those who were invited to the wedding feast, but they would not come. Again he sent out other servants, saying, say to those who are invited, see, I have prepared my dinner. My oxen and fattened cattle are slaughtered, and all is ready. Come to the wedding feast. But they disregarded it and went their way. This one to his field, that one to his trade. Sorry, guys. And the rest, having seized, verse 6, his servant, insulted and killed him. But when the sovereign heard, he was wroth, and sent out his soldiers, destroyed those murderers, and set the city on fire. Then he said to his servants, the wedding feast indeed is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore go into the street corners, and as many as you find, invite to the wedding feast. And those servants went out into the street corners and gathered all whom they found, both wicked and good, and the wedding shall be filled with guests. And when the sovereign came into the house with guests, he saw there a man who had not put on a wedding garment. And he said to him, friend, how did you come in here not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the sovereign said to his servant, bind him hand and foot, take him away, throw him into the outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. Then the Pharisees went and plotted how to trap him in his words. And they sent to him their taught ones with the Herodians, saying, Teacher, we know that you are true, and teach the way of Elohim in truth. Oh, teaches the way of Elohim. Interesting. And it does not concern you about anyone, for you are not partial to any man. Then say to us, what do you think? Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But knowing their wickedness, Yeshua said to them, why do you try me, you hypocrites? Show me the coin of the tax. And they brought him a denarius. And he said to them, whose likeness and inscription is this? They said to him, Caesar's. And he said to them, then give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to Elohim what is Elohim's. And having heard, they marveled, and left him and went away. On that day, Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moshe said that if anyone should die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise offspring for his brother. And there were with us 7 brothers, and the first died after he had married, and having no children, left his wife to his brother. In the same way, the second also, and the third, unto the 7th. And last of all, the woman died too. At the resurrection, then, whose wife of the 7 shall she be? For all had her. And Yeshua answering said to them, you go astray, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Elohim. For in the resurrection they do not marry, nor are they given in marriage, but are as the messengers of Elohim in heaven. Kashmir, shalom. Thanks for being here. Verse 30, for in the resurrection they do not marry, nor are they given in marriage, but are as the messengers of Elohim in heaven. And concerning the resurrection of the dead, have you not read what was spoken to you by Elohim, saying, I am the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Jacob? Elohim is not the Elohim of the dead, but of the living. And when the crowds heard, they were astonished at his teaching. But the Pharisees, having heard that he had silenced the Sadducees, were gathered together. And one learned in the Torah, did question, trying him and saying, Teacher, which is the great command in the Torah? And Yeshua said to him, You shall love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest command. And the second is like it, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commands hang all the Torah and the prophets. And when the Pharisees were gathered together, Yeshua asked them, saying, What do you think concerning the Messiah? Whose son is he? They said to him, The son of David. He said to them, Then how does David in the Spirit call him master? Saying, Yahweh said to my master, Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool of your feet. If then David calls him master, how is he his son? And no one was able to answer him a word. And from that day, no one was bold enough to ask him any more questions. Chapter 23. And this is going to wrap it up, guys. So if you're still here, thank you for sticking around. Super grateful to have you guys. Dano, shalom, brother. We got to connect soon. I'll get a hold of you. Chapter 23. Then Yeshua spoke to the crowds and to his taught ones, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit on the seat of Moshe. Therefore, whatever they say to you to guard, guard and do. But do not do according to their works, for they say and do not do. For they bind heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on men's shoulders. But with their finger they do not wish to move them. And they do all their works to be seen by men, and they make their tefillin wide. I guess that's like their garments. Their tefillin wide, and lengthen the tzitzit of their garments. So funny, because I see lots of people with like real long tzitzits. I'm like, no, it's in there. You might not want to follow after that example. Anyways. Yeah. And they love the best seats in the feast and the best seats in the congregation and the greetings in the marketplaces and to be called by men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But you do not be called Rabbi, for one is your teacher, the Messiah, and you are all brothers. Chapter 9, or verse 9, sorry. And do not call anyone on earth your father, for one is your Father, he who is in the heavens. Neither be called leaders, for one is your leader in the Messiah. But the greatest among you shall be your servant. And whoever exalts himself shall be humbled, and whoever humbles himself shall be exalted. But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you shut up the rain of the heavens before men. For you do not go in, nor do you allow those who are entering to go in. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you eat up widows' houses, and for a show make long prayers. Because of this you shall receive greater judgment. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you go about the land and the sea to win one convert, and when he is one, you make him a son of Gehinnom twofold more than yourself. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, whoever swears by the dwelling place, it does not matter, but whoever swears by the gold of the dwelling place is bound by oath. Fools and blind, for which is greater, the gold of the dwelling place that sets the gold apart? The gold or the dwelling place that sets the gold apart. And whoever swears by the slaughter place, it does not matter, but whoever swears by the gift that is on it is bound by oath. Fools and blind, for which is greater, the gift or the slaughter place that sets the gift apart? He then who swears by the slaughter place swears by it, and by all that is upon it. And he who swears by the dwelling place swears by it, and by him who is dwelling in it. And he who swears by heaven swears by the throne of Elohim, and by him who is sitting upon it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you tithe the mint and the anise and the cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the Torah, the right ruling and the compassion and the belief. These need to have been done without neglecting the others. Blind guides, straining out a gnat and swallowing a camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are filled with plunder and unrighteousness. Blind Pharisee, first clean the inside of the cup and dish, so that the outside of them becomes clean too. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you are like whitewashed tombs, which outwardly indeed look well, but inside are filled with dead men's bones and all uncleanness. So you too outwardly indeed appear righteous to men, but inside you are filled with hypocrisy and lawlessness. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tombs of the prophets and decorate the monuments of the righteous, and say, if we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would have not taken part with them in the blood of the prophets. Thus you bear witness against yourselves that you are sons of those who did murder the prophets, and you fill up the measure of your fathers. Serpents, brood of adders, how would you escape the judgment of Gehenna? Because of this, see, I send you prophets and wise men and scholars of Scripture. Some of them you shall kill and impale. Some of them you shall flog in your congregations and persecute from city to city, so that on you should come all the righteous bloodshed on the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel to the blood of Zechariah son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the dwelling place and the slaughter place. Truly I say to you, all this shall come upon this generation. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, killing the prophets and stoning those who are sent to her. How often I wish to gather your children together the way a hen gathers her chickens under her wings, but you would not. See, your house is left to you laid waste. For I say to you, from now on you shall by no means see me until you say, blessed is he who is coming in the name of Yahweh. And that is a wrap, folks. We're gonna read chapters 24 through 28, probably tomorrow night. Yeah, probably finish tomorrow night, because I don't want to let a whole weekend go by and not finish a book. So I'll try. I'm gonna have to try to do at least 4 readings a week so that we can get books done that are 4 parts in 1 week. But yeah, that's it, man. This video has been sponsored by Sanctified Blend Coffee. It's the best. I should have drank some before I started reading. I'm tired tonight. Woosha! Dad had his plan for you and Yeri. Strong folks that are needed where y'all is. Bro, we're just we're doing what we said. Here I am, send me, and he sent us here, and here we are. So you know what, I didn't want to be here, I'll be honest, but I want to be where he wants me more than where I want to be. So, praise Yah. All glory to the Most High. Being used by Him is an absolute pleasure, and I just want to be of service. I want to be a sharp tool in His hand, and so here we are. Iron sharpens iron. If you guys got anything to contribute or that you got out of what we read, now's the time. A little mid-rash before we jump off of here. Finished my shed. It kinda. I ended up putting a tarp over it. I never did roof it. I never made a follow-up video to that either. That was an older video that used to be on Patreon, but I actually spent a lot of effort making that video, and it was about a year old. So I thought, you know what? I'll share that one with YouTube, since, I don't know, I liked the video. I was playing with all kinds of different camera angles and stuff, and it's kind of the beginning of making videos, really. Oh my gosh. Ghost and Reapers. Bro, I'll do a Ghost, but I'm not ready for another Reaper. It was alright. The heat was fine, but I was like, I guess it's cramp. You get stomach cramps sometimes, but it reminds me of like the world's gnarliest hangover. Like I used to drink when I was younger, like late teens and early 20s, you know, and man, yeah, no, I was in bad shape. I was literally on the ground sweating and praying and asking Lucia to lay hands on me and pray, because I was like not doing well. But I also didn't know that I needed to prep my stomach. I didn't know how to prep my stomach. And so, man, I don't know. You want to do a video with me, Dano? I'll eat a hot pepper with you, brother. It'll be fun. I just gotta prep my stomach. Make some macaroni and cheese with like extra butter in it, and the butter kind of coats the stomach. That's my plan for the next time I eat a really hot pepper. I've been keeping my tolerance up too. I eat ghost pepper hot sauce on like everything. I just drench it in ghost pepper hot sauce, and I like heat. I've noticed my tolerance is way higher than a lot of folks. Yeah, Lucia, I kind of wish that you would have got that on camera, because people have no idea how wrecked I was. We'll regret it, maybe, but hey, man, you know what? The pain will be temporary, but the memories and the videos will be around for, well, who knows how long. I mean, realistically, it'll be around a lot longer than the pain. So, I'm down. Yeah, I want to eat. I really want to try a ghost pepper. I mean, I hear that there's no joke. Number 3. What, you ate 2 Reapers already? Like this season? Lucia asked me when I ate that pepper, she's like, well, and this was before I got the stomach cramps. She's like, will you ever do it again? And I was like, not this year. But man, you know what? I've been wanting a hot pepper, man. I really have. I can't find hot sauce that's like hot. I mean, there's hot sauce online. But anyways, we do have a hot sauce challenge thing that we're gonna record too. My little sister is into hot sauce, and you guys probably saw the video. I hired her and got her help in the print lab now, and so yeah, she's gonna do a video with me. I got one that has, man, what what kind of sauces was it? I think one of them scorpion pepper, which apparently is supposed to be pretty hot, like way up there at the top of the list with the Ghost and the Reaper. Have you ever heard of Pepper X? I guess Pepper X is one that hasn't been tested yet, but it's supposed to be just like way hotter than anything else out there. Also, chocolate primatalis are supposed to be way hotter than a Reaper. Man, Reapers are hot. When I ate the Reaper, it gave me like an endorphin rush. That's something that, yeah, you know, never mind. Endorphin rush. That's something I've never had from food before. All right, you guys. I love you. Thanks for sticking around. Oof. That's insane. 5 million. 5 million Scoville. That's off the chart. I think what Reapers are 2.5 million. It's pretty savage. All right, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow night. We'll do a little Shabbat study. What do you think? Give me a thumbs up on the way out if you haven't already. If you have anybody to share Bible reading videos with, do that. Share the Bible reading video. We don't make money on these videos or nothing. We're not trying to get monetized. We just wanna be fishing for men. That's what we're doing. No shame in it. I'll just tell you straight up. We're fishing for men out here. Trying to get as many in the boat as we can. Trying to go after the sheep that are wandering without a shepherd. Let them know they got a good shepherd. If they just want to join the pack, he'd be happy to have them. Kashmir. I thought I saw you said something about earlier in this that you were a local to Missouri. Good night, Jacqueline Hembry. I know I said I'm getting off, but people start talking as soon as I'm about to get off, and all I want to do is hang out, so. Kashmir. All right, man. What is it? Are you southwest, or that's where I'm at, southwest? But it'd be cool, man, to do like a little Bible study with some brothers. Central, mid, okay. We got some peeps up in mid central area, up near the Roby area. Lebanon, that's still pretty south, isn't it? That's kind of mid almost. I mean, Roby and Lebanon aren't close to each other, but they're both north of here. Okay, gotcha. Mary Seal, I'm glad you made it. Shalom. Just want you to know, Mary, I try to make sure that these videos don't start before 6 so that we can accommodate the late crowd. I know that you're not the only one that's working till 6 or so, we gotta get the late crowd. 7 to 8 usually. I want to start at 7 o'clock is what I shoot for now. All right, I'm gonna jump. Love you guys.